sad.
I'm a little far back. Let me. Okay. Hello. Now I'm too close. So, after those things came and attack you, and you bring Beric back to consciousness, what's the plan? Again, quiet and stillness in this place.
Rest.
I'm gonna sit down.
Rest.
Again.
Just sit back. Just go back to your little corner and camp. Cool.
I mean, I can't even be too mad at Vieric because the last time I went out looking for stuff, also
you got kidnapped.
Yeah. You did.
So I'm just like,
don't get natty ones on investigation checks. Don't do it. They're the easiest to fuck up.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna go and take a seat.
Start
I
bandaging
assume we're
up.
short resting.
Yeah,
Well.
if you're taking a short rest, then go ahead and this time heal your hit die for real.
Yeah. So
Does anyone
we'll do
want
the
to check the place out while we're doing that? Just to make sure there's no like just a little investigation, you know, just to make sure you didn't miss
Before
anything.
you start.
I think
No,
you
like
know
this,
what?
I'm saying like
just
while
gonna-
we short rest.
Can we
Like,
just
hey,
sit
Vieric, you're not
down?
doing anything? Do you want to go take a look around?
I'm just gonna sit here and leave Vieric in his corner and
Vieric is sitting in
heal
his
my
corner.
hit dice for.
Oh, damn it.
Take a short break, bandage up your wounds. And if you were caught, when you were caught in those explosions, like, they're burns. You very neatly, quickly, do you take this time to, like, properly apply water over them, wrap them up. Most of you have been burnt before, in some way or another, so you know how to handle them to heal the flesh. Plus, some of you actually have, like, holy blood that can heal flesh anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Tell me when you're done short resting.
Okay.
Although really you only have 2 hit dice each, so it's
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
most of you
I
probably
already
maxed
spent my
out.
first
I think
one, so this is my
Vieric
second
might
one.
not be maxed. No, you are. You did one before.
I am not.
Yeah.
But I'm real close.
No, I meant maxed out on the hit dice you've used.
Oh,
so if
yes,
you're all
absolutely.
done, you take that hour break. You're all still like the bandages you applied last time are bleeding. The wounds, the lightning wounds are hot to the touch. Still, you feel better, but not full fighting strength. But
Vieric
the
just
whole
twitching
time
every now and then.
in here, Eleanor, you had a hard time looking away from the statue, as if it calls to you.
Oh no.
Well, I'm certainly not going to turn down a challenge. So,
Well, everybody on their feet.
Yep.
Let's go.
Back to my hidey
Are the
hole.
corpses of these things still glowing?
No, at this point they've completely gone out. I imagine even you've gone and picked him up, and you actually one of them left like an almost complete like face mask essentially for the thing.
Oh. If that's the case, Vieric would totally grab that.
Yeah, he would.
It's a new mask for you.
It's a
An
mask of
alternative
something you killed.
Little
Yeah.
gremlin-sized mask.
Mask is something I killed and then nearly killed me back.
Yeah. All right, you took the same. You basically took like same.
What do I
battle
call
plan.
this thing?
Up to
where
you.
are
You don't know what these things are called.
Plant mask.
Hopefully, you will remember what that is in like 30 sessions.
You won't.
Oh, I have an idea. There we go. Plant
Tell
mask
me.
in brackets electric.
When you want to challenge,
Where is Vieric?
he's
I'm
hiding.
stealthing.
Okay.
Can I
Give
roll
me your
myself?
stealth roll, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell
You're like, where's Vieric? And you see him like,
Totally stealth up, guys. Don't worry. They'll never
Well, in
see
that case,
me
I'm actually
here.
going to move here.
you don't know you're not. You don't know you rolled a 1.
No, I mean, like, I think I'm hidden here, but I'm not. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, up to you. Yeah.
all right. I issue my challenge once everyone is all set up.
Okay. What starts to happen is a cold wind blows through this chamber. It was actually an alright temperature for the north. The cold wind starts to blow through the temperature that is familiar, because when Aenor's powers start to kick in. This cold wind starts to blow, or even just sort of wisps of it seem to appear, coming through the archway is a being made of completely twisting and moving air that you can still make out the shape of, especially when it like starts shrinking down, because it's constantly moving, and the sort of the dust and the ash on the ground start to get caught up on it as it makes the form of Aelinor. Although it's kind of makes the sword as one of its arms. Again, not understanding properly what it is it sees. Everyone give me a little cheeky initiative roll, please. I will roll initiative for the challenger.
My dice just disabled. Like, what's going on?
What are you on about?
Oh, I think I rolled at the same time as someone else, and my dice just didn't appear.
Yeah, that happens. Alright, you actually got real good initiative rolls. You've done this a few times. You kind of know what to expect. It comes out, it shrinks down. Tobias.
Well, given what I think is the case, either it has to touch the challenger, or the challenger has to touch it, or attack it, or something, I'm just gonna take a step down.
Excuse me, what are the rules of this challenge?
And ready in action
Really must know.
to attack it with my short sword after Eleanor has made contact with it, either from it attacking her or her attacking it.
Yeah. Varric, I assume you're just gonna kind of lie in wait.
Yeah, I figured out how I'm gonna roleplay the natty one. So he's gonna go here, peek around the corner. Okay, it's gonna go back, and obviously it saw him when he peeked around the corner.
Yeah. Obviously, as it would. Barut.
I am going to follow Tobias's lead and step down and prepare an attack for after it either touches Eleanor or Eleanor touches it.
Eleanor.
So, obviously we want it in that little space right there. So I too am going to use my action to ready an action for when it steps forward.
Guess what it does?
Step forward?
It steps forward.
Hell yeah.
Good.
Alright.
So you swing at it.
Yes, I do.
That's a hit.
That's what I like to see.
I will reroll that one.
2 as well.
Did I roll 2?
You did.
Yeah,
You
you
Oh, I
rolled
did
a 1
roll
and a 2.
Look out.
Might as
Well,
well.
then yes, I will. Nope.
Nope.
Doesn't work. So was that the same amount of damage? Yes,
It's
it was.
the
7.
exact same amount.
Yeah. You slice at this thing. Aenor has no hesitation attacking herself in the slightest.
Does that then trigger our actions?
Yes, because you believe that, like, either way, the challenge has really begun. Feel free.
Oh,
Oh.
well, a 15 might.
So you both hit.
Okay.
Good thing you had advantage.
Yeah, 'cause that could have not been awesome.
All right.
Unsurprisingly, really much damage.
Okay, and then it is
It's a
going
lover, not a fighter.
to attack Aelinor. And it is going to hit. Aelinor, give me a constitution. Strength save. This is a strength save.
Strength?
First of all, it deals 6 damage. And then you feel as it swings at you, just this billowing blast of air that you kind of have to like secure yourself, and you go back a few inches, but you sort of secure your boots on the ground, and steady yourself. It then attacks at you again, which also hits for this time 8 damage.
And I am unconscious.
Oh no.
Down. All right. Next up is Tobias.
Okay. I can't really do much for Eleanor, but I can try to stab this thing while Barut does something. Hopefully. 2 attacks.
Hopefully, the cleric has a spell.
Cleric does not have a spell.
That's real good. Second one hits with a crit. Crit hit.
I have nothing to heal.
That's 12 damage total.
Awesome. When you do get a strike off on this thing, when it's fully formed, you can just sort of cut away. And even though it's seems to be made of air, you actually do feel, just enough give on the sword to be like, yes, I'm harming this thing.
Okay.
Next up is Vieric.
Okay, I got nothing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna try and do as much damage as I can because I got nothing to heal at all.
Remember, you do not have an advantage because she is on point.
Yep.
That's a hit.
Sweet, and then I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And once again, you see the shadows move instead of him. Damn it.
None of them hit.
Just shadows mixed with the wind. I'm like, oh, weird. It's weird interaction.
Barut.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything to help Eleanor either right now.
Always have a medicine
perhaps-
check.
Yeah, which I think is what I'm gonna do. This, I assume, provokes an attack.
Oh, yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a hit.
Yeah.
9 damage.
That's a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a medicine check on Eleanor.
Go ahead.
That's with advantage. That shouldn't be with advantage.
Shouldn't be with
Hold
advantage.
On. Hold on.
Naughty boy.
Oh no.
It's so much worse.
You sort of like winded from the wind creature beating you. You sort of try to start helping her, but she doesn't come back immediately. Eleanor, give me a death save, please. Those are good. There's a point of life. This thing is then going to just sort of... It sort of, like, inverts itself to turn around at Vieric.
Oh, lovely.
And then will attack at Vieric.
I'm gonna die.
Hitting you for 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where I would usually make you do a roll, but as it punches you, like the wind blasts, and you actually hit back against like the foot of Magnonir's statue. You're like, oh, and aren't knocked any further back. And then it swings at you again, and you're like, and just duck, and it goes, cracks.
Thank fuck. Oh, thank fuck.
Oh boy.
Tobias.
Well,
Those are hits.
that's okay.
This has been the day of AC 14, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Everything today has had AC 14.
So that is 11 damage.
11 damage, it's good. These things, they don't start to wane, but you see them start to break. You start to see areas sort of fall and part, where the stuff has started to twist and spin in with the form. But then when you get that second strike off, you see it really start to double down and again start to shrink in pain.
As this is happening, I'm just like both swords stuck in it, and I just like turn and look to Baruit, and I'm like, doing magic! Oh no! Like the realization that he has a limited amount of magic is just like now watching over to life. He's like, shit. That is my turn.
Vieric.
Okay. Having just been hit against the wall, I didn't mean to ping. I'm just gonna jump to the side, and I'm gonna do an advantage short sword.
That's a hit.
Just.
AC 14.
AC 14.
And then I'm gonna do once again my last key point, flurry of blows, because this thing is I'm going down or it's going down. Fuck. Looks like I'm going down, folks.
That's a
Okay,
hit.
there we go.
It's not going down.
Looks like I'm going down, folks.
No, it's fine.
Barut.
Tobias, don't you have another healing potion? One of those massive ones?
Oh shit, I actually forgot that I had that in my
I'm fairly
head.
sure Barut has regular healing potions as well. Didn't Fireflies give you some?
Nope. I don't have them. I believe Tobias has those as well.
Those are all gone. He gave us some healing salves, and that stuff's all gone.
I think he
No,
gave
when we
you
got
some.
back, he was brewing.
I think he gave you some when you were in the castle.
And I'm fairly confident I said, "Here, Tobias, take these." And
Yeah,
hold on."
he
I
gave you
don't have
2.
them in my inventory or the party inventory, so...
Oh, they might be in the party inventory.
They would be in the party inventory, and it's entirely reasonable to say Barut would have had 1. I think that's what
Okay,
you
then in
would have
that
done.
case, I will administer one of those 2 healing potions to Aelinor. So, should I
This is
roll
the
it or-
rare situation I don't do the, well, you lost it on the bus rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it should I be the one rolling it, or should Aaron be the one?
Aaron. I mean, it really doesn't
What am I
matter.
wrong?
Healing potion, 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, there we go.
It's
Nice.
good.
And I am going to step back
Away from the whole thing.
and just stand over here for the moment and be like, "This is me now."
Ready to revive the next one that goes down.
Eleanor.
Yep. I stand up and I hit him.
Drag yourself up with the sword.
Oh no.
Don't hit it.
Don't hit it. And that's my turn.
But it might hit you. And in fact,
Oh.
it doesn't.
Oh.
With the first attack. The second attack is actually against Tobias.
Of course.
Which does hit.
Good.
For 6 damage.
For 6 damage. I have 6 health left. Okay.
Tobias.
Your turn.
I have been set on fire, crushed, blasted with wind,
Breaker of chains.
made cold. I'm so done. That's gonna be a short sword. And a second short sword. And that's gonna be 5 and 9. 14 damage total.
It's good damage. The thing is still waning and shrinking back, and every strike makes this sort of challenger of Aelinor sort of flinch and shrink back and step more away. But it's still corporeal.
Very
Okay.
I'm gonna stab at it.
That's a hit.
Hey. Okay. And then I'm a punch at it. I don't know what else to do.
That's a hit. You strike at it, and then you're just sort of not really knowing what you're doing, sort of punch at it, and the thing dissipates in sort of like a scream of air. Just.
We did it.
Is it dead?
You wait like a couple of seconds. It doesn't come back.
It's gonna
Bird
put his
sits
short
down.
away, and
Rick just sits down right there. He's like, yep.
well,
Rise just looks to the rest of the party and is like, so 2 for 0 on trials then.
2 for 0. Let's go back out and talk to some giants. Well, giant folk, you know how it is. Ugh. I feel like crap. How about everybody else?
I can't get up.
You're like, I'm down.
Yep.
I'm staying down.
Burwood's gonna walk over and grab Virik by the back of his singed collar, and just lift him and put him back on his feet. We don't have time.
We're on the right side of the grass. Let's go back and visit our giant friends. And,
Hopefully this wasn't all a ruse to weaken us before they attack.
Well,
Make a smile.
Bear is looking terrified.
And you could especially it's very because you could only see it in his eyes. It's
yeah.
like, ah!
If it is, it was a good plan. And you know what? So be it. If it was, let's
Let's head out then.
yeah, let's go.
Okay, you start walking your way out. As you do, you know, you're walking with a great deal less speed, limping, taking your time. When you actually see the sunlight as you reach the mouth of the ruin again, to 3 of you, it's a pleasant experience leaving the cavern and then going back out into this Planavar village that is sort of built under where these giant arching roots twist together above this little valley thing. And the elder you spoke to, the white plants that sort of stain his beard and holding onto a staff of gnarled wood, is there pretty much, like, it looks like he's maybe been waiting. And kind of just gives like a nod.
Well, we've all faced our challenge. And
A good giant again.
Yeah, he was just like...
nearly died doing it, but
Thus
here we are.
is all good challenges.
Absolutely.
Now, you are one of us. You are Planavar. You rest your weary bodies and drink of the blessing of the Planavar. And in the morn, we will help you. We will
And,
show you to Revolg's hovel of sin.
Burwood's gonna tap himself on the chest twice, mirroring the sign of acceptance that that he gave before, and just a nod, and that's all. Not gonna say anything more from that.
He turns and walks with muddy feet further into the village. It's kind of probably around noon now, but you can see, but as you walk in, there's no the look they gave you before of kind of this disgust of seeing horrible creatures enter their land is mostly gone, and you can smell cooked meats. And roasted veggies.
I'll look to Vieric for his benefit, because I keep forgetting that you don't speak giant. I'll just be like, they're gonna give us a place to have a nap and a drink.
Yes. Very much yes.
And he goes over to an area where there are sort of buildings, but they're very simple shelters. None of them have doors or anything like that, even. Where sort of built into the roots and the wood, in actually quite nice construction, is sort of a boiling pot that is bubbling and bubbling. And so he just sort of like motions to it with his stick, and a female Planavar who's there just starts sort of scooping, like I thought, sort of, you know the soup from Wind Waker, sort of like an orange sort of thick soup, and just sort of like just scoops them into wooden bowls that are big because Planavar, they're medium sized, but they're all around 8 feet tall. Yeah, they're a lift and drink. And sort of starts putting, literally she like goes up and she's sort of an older woman, so it takes probably around 5-10 minutes for her to even give you all a serving of this rich, and the bowl is warm, but not painfully warm, pleasantly warm. And you can sort of do what you wish. You could find a nice place to sit, to relax under the tree. Like, it's so much space here. There are trees growing under the trees.
Right.
But none of the snow from outside really reaches this place, which is probably why it's their home.
Good. I'm going to ask Barut to ask what they think about the drow before I do anything about my mask, because I'm so close to death.
I'll ask is the elder still there?
He just sort of like led you there and stopped. Like didn't do anything. Didn't look like his face moved. Didn't really change any actions at all.
Okay. I would turn to him and in giant ask a couple of things. First question is not going to be about the drow, because that's a very insensitive way to start.
As always.
Yeah, the first question that I would ask is, well, I would start by saying that we're very appreciative for the warm food and the hospitality, and Very welcome after that.
Which means
hard-fought trial.
you're welcome in Giant.
Yes. And I'd then ask, for your culture, is there anything that we should avoid doing just so we don't offend anyone?
Do not fornicate in view of the children. Do
Reasonable.
not worship false idols.
Good. Okay. All right.
Make your ancestors proud.
Mm.
Treating.
He would tap his chest twice again and
Yeah.
then say, what is your understanding of the drow? If there is even a word for drow in Giant, which I don't
No,
know.
it wouldn't be. You just do
Yeah.
drow.
Yeah.
But you'd also heard other people call them usurpers, so you might go drow, and then find the closest word for that. And
Yeah.
his face doesn't change. He's just sort of. I know of dark elves. All elves are small to Planavar, but you elf, that elf, proven.
And I would turn to Varric then and say, we have proven. And that's all I'd say to him. And then I would continue to
Mask off,
turn
hood off.
back to the elder and ask one more thing. While we are here, I know we have a mission to find the exile, but I also have my own mission, which is to make sure relations between the Planavar and Slate Cove stay as peaceful as possible.
We
And-
care little for the humans in their ring of stone and ancients. The humans south are rude and troublesome and problems. But the humans of the ring are harmless.
Burwitt's going to heartily chuckle at that, and then say, "Well, I'm glad to hear it, but for my own sake, I was hoping I could speak with someone about your culture to understand better."
You are speaking with someone.
I am. Well, then I suppose the best thing for me to do would be to ask you. Your connection to the giants of old, where does that connection begin?
When giants were many and widely standing, my ancestors did not care for the streets of cities that spanned your countries. We cared for the forests, their trees, and their people, and their creatures. When the giants fled, we did not go with them. And in time, we adapted to a world not meant for giant kin anymore. That is our ancestors, the only giants with the courage not to flee in defeat.
Do that, and Brewitt's taking notes. Somewhat unsurprisingly, probably.
And when you're taking notes, I mean, you in your understanding of giant culture already, especially these guys, they probably don't really care for writing. But while you're taking notes, maybe after a couple of minutes, because you probably going to write for a long time.
Yeah.
It says, "You will learn much, for we will celebrate your success and give you the blessing when the sun sets below the trees.
I look forward to learning as much as I can about your culture and your people.
At that point, he turns and starts slowly walking his way away.
And I'm gonna drink my soup.
It's nice. It seems to be made of sort of root vegetables and actual roots, so it has a sort of like earthy, turnipy taste. It's not seasoned like at all, like not even like salt, pepper, like no seasoning. Kind of not surprising for British people. But it is warm food that's actually pleasant to most of you. Actually, all of you would appreciate it. I even like Virik, who's used to very different kinds of foods. It's still, you know, close enough.
Right now, it's food. Like right now, Virik would eat anything put in front of him right now.
And it's a huge serving too. Like it's a full meal.
Virik could go back for seconds.
If you do, you kind of like go up and just because you tend to speak giant, just sort of like offer the bowl. The kind of old matronly Planivar at the cooking sort of desk sort of just like gives a big smile and actually like reaches out a hand down at you and ruffles your hood, because I imagine you took the mask off but not the hood, which makes
I would have taken the mask and the hood off.
Oh, in which case ruffles your hair. Like, boom, 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 boom. And then just kind of like ladles another slopping of soup.
Oh,
Well, if we're all having seconds, I'm gonna go up and get seconds as well.
When you do, and if all of you do, she is very clearly pleased, and even like plan of our children around the size of like Tobias run up at some point and are like, Gamma, what are they? And they're like, friends. And it's very sweet. It's clear when you're sitting and you're taking like actually just time to rest that they're setting up for something. This village is sort of an oval sort of shape. Maybe there's some little huts and things outside as well. But sort of in the oval shape, it seems they're setting up in the middle where there's actually tree stumps or root stumps and stones and things that make seats fit for giants. The biggest one actually looks like it was a seat for a full giant, even though these are much shorter now. There's a big fire pit in the middle that they're getting like firewood for, and even like the children are helping and things, and they seem to be mixing something that isn't a food in like another thing. They're preparing for a little bit of a do.
Yeah.
Anything you want to go over or chat about before, the evening strikes?
So, Virik, there were a few things that the very kind elder of the Planivar just spoke to me about that he suggested we don't do. Worrying obviously about offending them, given that we're guests here in their culture and that they have accepted our proof through the trial. We don't want to mess that up at all. So, do not fornicate in view of the children.
Okay.
Dang.
Look, I'm relaying the information and nothing more.
Okay.
Do not worship false idols. That was another one. And then the other one I don't remember.
Rick doesn't make your ancestors proud. I think.
Oh no, I made a note.
Honor your clan.
Tobias
chimes in with.
Yeah, when he pauses, when Ambarut kind of has to like choke back a turnip burp.
Yeah.
That's when Tobias comes in.
And also, don't steal anything. That was a very important one that he noted was very relevant. They had some people come in and
it's actually interesting when you mention that. Virik is always on the lookout for shinies.
Yeah.
Something interesting you're putting together is a lot of like the stuff they have hanging on walls or hanging from ceilings are like rings or belts or like buckles for a full giant that must be very, very old and like worn, but like are polished and kept in like shiny degrees, and some of them have little gems, some of them have gold or silver. Just decorating the place.
It is likely that these are for their ancestors or from their ancestors. Do not do anything with those.
Okay. He's already feeling a little guilty from the mishap with the resting, so he'll just okay.
And that should be in any culture, but I feel like I need to tell you here specifically, given that they are just placing these things on the walls, and I understand that it might seem very easy for you to take.
I had considered it.
Stop considering it.
Not gonna happen.
Gotta plan the heist. Alright, and with that, are you gonna just sort of like, relax and lay down and things?
Rest.
When...
Hang out with this old lady a little bit more.
Yeah.
The soup
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah, you hang out with the soup lady.
She seems like a gem.
Absolutely. You can't walk away from grandma. You gotta spend time with grandma.
Gotta spend time with grandma.
Yeah.
And you, but eventually it starts to get dark. It starts to get gloomy. And actually there are small little lamps that you see, not the village elder, but someone dressed similarly, maybe the person training up to be the elder, is shepherding fireflies into these small little, like sort of wicker baskets that create like a little dim glow around the village that is just honestly like beautiful in a haunting way. And then they start lighting the fire in the middle. At that point, you probably would go back over where they're all sort of sitting down and things, and the elder will kind of usher you over and to whoever goes up first, which is probably Barut because you talk to him the most. Just with big fingers, will just sort of like mark like a stripe, 2 stripes down your face in this sort of slightly sort of greenish black paste that smells earthy. And then would do that to all of you, but the symbol is like slightly different, and like Tobias's is like they're different. And we'll kind of nod, and then when everyone, seemingly everyone in the village sort of gets together, there is a couple of small words, but they're not necessarily religious. They're just sort of words to the people from the elder, and then actually music begins. Deep drums and sort of shaking instruments, and a lot of like beating of hands or legs or feet, because feet are connected to the legs, on the ground or on the stone or anything nearby them or someone else. And actually, all of you, a member of the woman folk will kind of sweep you off to the side and start a little dance. That is very simple because it's a giant dance. It's basically like they hold your arms and they swing. It's not much more than that because they're giants. But I imagine you'd all play along and kind of enjoy yourselves. And
Rook was gonna dance if they didn't do
either
that.
way, right? Big mugs of moonshine, essentially, are sort of handed around, and it seems like it's like a big communal mug where you just sort of like drink as much as you can, and it's being refilled by somewhere. Actually, give me perception checks.
Ooh. Oh yeah, we are. Whoops.
All at advantage for no reason. Okay, let's try that again. There we go.
I'm sad.
You three, but Aelnor, you see the other sort of druidy character goes off to the side when that mug is empty, and actually goes to like their stream, which has sort of been. You figure maybe a long time ago it was like a sort of an aqueduct system, but now it's just part of the forest. And he just sort of refills it with water. And his hand glows with a sort of greenish light, and then comes over and pulls it back over, and it smells strongly of alcohol, and it gives you a solid buzz.
That's an amazing spell.
I need to learn how to do that.
Actually, I would like to inquire about this.
Will you like ask him in giant while you're?
Yeah,
while
I'm
there?
gonna go up to this guy in giant and just be like, so, how'd you learn to do that?
Texts of ancestors.
Birds like
It's
listening
good
in.
drinking. It
I
put hairs
take it-
on your chest.
I
And
take
like,
a sip and I'm like, yeah, this is marvelous. I don't suppose you still have that text handy, do you?
You speak forest?
That's a great question. I don't think so.
You need to be able to speak forest to understand. I can show you. And he'll like show you over to where, which you kind of assume might be the sort of the chieftain's sort of area, which is a big sort of hollowed out area. And we'll sort of rummage. And there's a lot of just sort of stuff and even like skulls of beasts and things. And I'll bring out what looks like, you know, petrified bark that has these symbols and giant in them. But actually have just a very small glow to them of very clearly sort of nature magic. And you can read it, although it's a sort of garbled mess of words that don't necessarily make sense, and some of it makes sense as sort of a preaching. You figure it's essentially like a spell scroll.
Gotcha. Cool. I take a look at it and I'm like, huh, that's neat. Anyways, thanks for showing me that. That's
Anyways.
I mean, I don't know how to cast magic from scrolls, and I'll tell that to this guy, be like, I know some magic, but I mostly just feel it out as I'm going, you know what I mean?
I do.
And like, yeah, if someone gets it, like, this is great. Like, look, those guys out there are all great, but the type of magic I cast is just, a lot of people don't seem to understand it. I don't even understand it myself, really.
And he
it's
sort
more
of
about-
pushes it into your chest and like, keep it. I can
Cool.
write it again.
I will take it and I will look at him and say, this is a fantastic gift. I only wish I had something to give in return.
You give your honor.
Cool, I'll give him one of these.
Yeah, he
Cool.
does it back.
Yeah.
But clearly, like, he's a little softer than the elder. You know,
Yeah.
he's a millennial, Planivar.
Does he have a man bun? But yeah, so I'll
He actually does. And there's some sort of plant life growing in it, as it is with most of these people.
I'm on board with this guy's energy. I just give him like a nod and I'm like, thank you. I will treasure this always, even if hopefully one day we'll be able to understand it. And I go back out with this guy.
Yeah, you come back out and, you know, the festivities continue. Does anyone really do anything while you're sort of hanging out? Or are you just, you good?
I'm going to be observing the culture as much as I can, obviously. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm doing by this point. Like, I'm just trying to absorb.
You're
and
watching
take
your
notes.
writing.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll come over with the spell scroll that he gave me and I'm just like, brew it. And I like kind of pull you to the side. And I'm like, he gave me this. And I like point at it and I'm like, this is the magic. That's how they make the water into beer.
I'm going to look at it, and I'm assuming it's a garbled mess to me.
It's a garbled mess of giant, which is what spell scrolls don't make sense
Yeah.
because it's similar to mages that actually speak their magic. It is
Right.
not. It does not usually make sentences unless it's holy magic. And there's some of it does make sort of some senses of like, oh, to honor your ancestors in festivities, and then the rest of it is kind of like random words, like you're trying to activate the Winter Soldier.
Gotcha. Okay.
Easiest
How
way
do
to
we-
compare it, you know.
That's the best.
I mean, he just gave this to you? You didn't break rule number 4 that we made specifically for.
I'm like, no. I mean,
This is
you and I
invalid.
both know that's
Yeah.
not a
Yeah, I was about to say, if
You
you
and I
say that,
both know that wasn't even one of the rules, but no, I didn't break the party's rule number 4.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
It was a gift. It was gifted to me. And if I point over to Man Bun,
Yeah,
Millennial
who
Giant.
is currently sort of entertaining the children by casting dancing lights.
Yeah.
With sort of like these motes of multicolored light.
If Virik sees that, Virik's gonna join in and use his as well and start like dancing with them.
I don't know that there's anything I can do with this, but
I mean,
are you looking?
I'm just like,
To
I don't
learn.
know if you understand the gravity of this situation. This is the capability to carry a keg on any of our adventures, wherever we go, but it's a piece of paper. And there's no limit to how much beer is in the keg. This is the scientific discovery of a decade, of a millennium. I'm like waving this scroll around while I say this to you.
What we really
We cannot let anyone in Slade Cove know we have this.
That I agree with you on. 100%.
They'll start wars.
That. Fair enough.
Empires will burn for this power if we are not careful. And I just
Okay.
like,
Well, tell you what. Put it in our party bag, which now that we've established that I was able to pull out one of the potions from it, I'm just assuming is like my fanny pack. Like I just have this horrible fanny pack on the front. That's just not a good situation.
They're called messenger bags. As a British man, I do not appreciate the term fanny pack.
Yeah, that does not mean the same thing.
I forgot that you do have this. Anyways, in my
Fanny pack
traveler's
is an
note-
advanced level kink that we're not ready for yet. We're only on
All right.
week 4.
Anyways, it's a traveler's tote, and it is a slight thing that is attached to my belt that is just a smaller.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I just fold it up and toss it in there.
I really wish you would have rolled this. That's okay, and we'll hold on to that for now and see what we can do with it later.
Like, well, anyway, I'm running low on river water here, and I take my big mug over to the thing and disappear into a group of planet.
Yeah, and you enjoy your evening, relaxing and enjoying yourselves to as much of a degree as you allow yourself.
I was going to say that I was going to talk to Eleanor a little bit.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
I actually want around 10 minutes more of conversations.
Cool, good, because we haven't really talked yet.
Sure. I
So
am very much enjoying the festivities. Drinking probably a bit too much.
good.
It's
great.
it's very strong. I described it as moonshine for a reason.
Yes.
So Barut's gonna come up and sit down after his conversation with Toby, and just sit down and say, so why the Greyfists?
Oh, they had a cause that I thought was righteous enough to join, which is hard to find.
True enough.
Why you? Why the Greyfists?
Opportunity to explore places like we were just in. See more of
I'll say
the
it's
culture.
not exactly the most cultural hub in the north.
No, but I've traveled all over. I trying to get as much information as possible. I'm I'm gonna pull out my notebook, writing a book, as it were. True histories, things that speak the truth rather than the well, some of the other histories that are out there these days. Ones that are put forward by people who maybe have a reason to embellish.
She'll kind of nod a lot to that, and she'll look into her drink, and she kind of looks sad for a second, and she'll just ask, "Do you ever miss your home?"
More than I can say. What about you?
Yes, I understand that very much.
I'm sorry about what happened to your home.
Oh,
I don't know anything about it, but I was told bad things?
I am from Endenbor. It's very difficult to talk about. It no longer exists as it did.
Well, bad things was a bit of an understatement then, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Well, I won't trouble you with that. That's a horrible way to continue with these festivities. So, and I'm gonna just say, hold on for just one moment. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna get another one of the mugs of the horribly strong moonshine and bring it over to her. I still have mine. It's like mostly full because I have been nursing this thing because I am not a heavyweight.
I will down the one I'm currently drinking and take the other one.
Yeah. And just sorry I brought it up, but
no need to be sorry.
So, tell me more about yourself, just in general.
Well, there isn't much more to say. I fought in the war, and I protect the people around me as best I can. And that's about it.
Right, that's what you've done, but not who you are.
Well, stick around, you might find out. And I will drink a lot more.
I'll drink along.
For about 5 minutes before you feel a very upset belly.
Before I pass out.
Okay. I was gonna say if I rolled like a one or something, you'd hear a thump in the background. Because he's drinking a lot.
I'm nursing mine. I'm wanting to be fully aware for tomorrow because I know we've got information coming our way and potentially travel.
I'm gonna bring a mug of the moonshine to Grandma.
Oh, she's drinking already, friend.
She's got like 12 mugs there.
She's already been going, but she takes it from you and is like, good boy.
Bias, feels quite drunk at this point, and he just like smiles and like thinks to himself, "It's like, yeah, I am a good boy." Goes back to like get more.
All right, and with that, why don't we take our break and then take it off from the morning? So we'll be back in a real bit. Please drink responsibly. Of your magic river water.